Our group studied the causes of the Celtic Tiger, the popular name for the Irish economic boom that lasted from the 1990s into the early 2000s. During this time period, the Republic of Ireland transformed from a relatively impoverished European nation to one of the strongest economies in the world. This contrast is especially evident when the income of Ireland is compared to the United Kingdom during the same time period, as the two countries are close together in distance and share the same language. From the time of the Great Famine in the mid-19th century, Ireland suffered from a weak economy, and many natives emigrated from the country, leading to a brain drain and further economic decline. In addition, nationalism following the War for Independence from England caused many in Ireland to prefer self-sufficiency, limiting trade and forcing the small island to rely on its own influences. These factors led to England's GDP per capita doubling Ireland's by 1960.
Ireland's significant lowering of its corporate income tax rates throughout the 1980s and 90s coincides with large increases in GDP that propelled Ireland to one of the fastest growing economies and one of the top economies in the European Union. The corporate income tax rate dropped from a high of 50% in 1987 to 40% by 1991 and down again to 28% by 1999. Additionally, the top bracket for the personal income tax decreased from 58% to 46%. In that same time span, GDP increased from $34 to $99 billion. While it is not certain that these significant decreases in taxes propelled the rapid pace of growth in Ireland in the 90s, this data is certainly a strong indicator that they played a role. Before Ireland's economic boom, its corporate income tax rate was significantly higher than that of the neighboring United Kingdom. In 1987, the corporate tax rate in the UK was 35%, before being lowered to 33% in 1991 and then down to 30% by 1999. In this time period, Ireland's tax rate had changed from being 15% higher than that of the UK to 2% lower. Today, Ireland has a corporate tax rate that is 7.5% lower than that of the UK, at 12.5%. A business in Ireland will pay significantly lower taxes than a business located just miles to the north, in Northern Ireland, under the control of the United Kingdom. In fact, between 1987 and 1994, Ireland's foreign direct investment as a percentage of GDP varied between 0.217% and 2.722%. By 1996, that number jumped to 3.45%, and it subsequently skyrocketed to 25.538% in 2000. These numbers coincide with both drastic decreases in corporate tax rates and rapid GDP growth in Ireland.
Between 1990 and 2005, employment grew from 1.1 to 1.9 billion jobs. Along with an increased investment in education, this job growth helped to stem the immigration problem as the population grew almost 15% between 1996 and 2005. Additionally, Ireland realized that reformed immigration regulations could help to further the momentum of this boom. Thus, in 2004, Ireland became just one of 3 countries to allow for non-EU nationals to take up employment in the countries across a wide range of industries, which further helped to increase immigration and ameliorated Ireland's population growth. Another possible explanation for this boom was increased government investment in education, which by 1995 led to 27% of the population aged 25 to 34 having a third-level education, which outpaced the OECD country average of 23% and making Ireland the second highest-ranked country in the EU in terms of higher education. Though it is probable that this was not a direct cause of the boom, because in the 1980s a third of Irish immigrants were bright, English-speaking, and motivated graduates, it seems probable that it was a large factor in its sustained momentum for 2 reasons. One reason is that it brought people who had previously immigrated out of Ireland back home. Another reason is that the boom brought about a climate of the workforce which was amenable to those with a business education, thus opening up a sector of the workforce which was previously not available, thus leading to a greater segment of the population having higher paying jobs and sustained economic growth. Though a large segment of the population previously was well qualified, it was necessary for them to have a platform on which to exercise their skills in the labor market.
The Celtic Tiger boom finally came to an end with the global financial recession of 2008. Because Ireland received such a boom in investment during the Tiger years, the housing bubble that existed in most of the developed world grew even larger on the island. Although all European economies were affected by the crash, Ireland was hit particularly hard because foreign investment, which the country relied greatly on, dried up in the difficult times, and poor government decisions led to a debt worth 130% of GDP, an unsustainable ratio.
Despite this data, this argument is not a comprehensive list of factors that could be contributed to the cause of the boom. It could prove helpful to compare phenomena that occurred in Ireland with similar events in other European countries, such as comparing the effects of Ireland's transition from a closed, nationalistic economy to an open one with similar phenomena that occurred in former Soviet Union countries, such as Lithuania. Or even looking to the economic boom that occurred in Japan in the late 1800s and the post-World War II era. One could even compare Ireland with Korea, where North Korea and its internally oriented, nationalistic, closed-off economic policies lags far behind the free market, open economy of South Korea. A comparison that, while more severe, is not dissimilar to that of Ireland before and after opening up its economy. That said, it remains clear that Ireland's decision to open the economy and lower taxes played a substantial role in the Celtic Tiger.